Hello and good day. This is the daily analysis of GBPUSD for February 23rd. The price. It continued its movement along the New York session trend and ultimately faced increased selling pressure. It entered the black order block.
Do you know why your profits are smaller than your losses? Because you don't analyze your trades, you just execute them. Download the Trading Journal app for MetaTrader 4 and 5 for free now.
Block area, which eventually led to a bullish correction, and with the start of Monday, with the opening of the Asian markets and the weakening of the DXY index, the price of GBP has increased against the USD, and it is expected that if the DXY index continues to decline further, the price could enter the order block area. And if a reversal is identified in the bullish trend and the key level or change of character is broken, we can enter a sell position. In the direction of the market's downward trend, the target level is the drawn liquidity at 13434. However, by examining the fundamental factors and the reasons for the decline in the DXY index, which according to the U.S. Supreme Court, the tariffs imposed by Donald Trump were declared illegal, which caused the DXY index to drop with the opening of the Asian markets. You can observe this drop in this section, and our prediction is that the DXY index will have a short-term bullish move, fill the gap, and then continue its downward trend. However, if the DXY strengthens, it could target higher levels, and in contrast, GBP could move downward, but if, after the bullish correction, the DXY moves downward, it could drop to around 96.621 and continue its movement. Alongside the decline in the DXY index, GBP could also target higher levels. When we take a closer look at the Currency Strength Index, it becomes clearly evident that over the course of the past week, the USD exhibited the most robust performance across the board, while the euro remained within a relatively neutral range, and the GBP was steadily experiencing a notable downward trend. By carefully analyzing the historical correlation between the GBP and the euro, we can observe that they have a 90% correlation with each other, and based on this correlation value, we can identify a divergence between the pairs. We can identify GBP and euro, where GBP has recorded a higher high. But in the euro, there is a lower high, which indicates the end of the bullish correction and the continuation of the downward trend in the market. By analyzing the GBP-USD pair on the 1-hour time frame, music. We can see the price movement, which, after breaking the break of structure levels, moved downward. After that, the aggressive upward movement entered a bullish correction phase, which eventually broke a market structure shift level here. This could lead to a downward move toward the order block area at the 1.3489 level. At the identified level of the downward trend, the price could move upward again and enter an FVG area or an order block area. If the weekly trend signals a bullish move, we can use this opportunity to enter a position in the direction of the price movement. Also, by examining the economic and political factors affecting the pound, it is predicted that the pound will continue to weaken and target lower levels in the coming week. However, if the DXY index declines, the pound could move in a bullish trend. It is recommended to avoid trading against the market's downward trend, and as long as GBP has not managed to close above the 1.3598 level, refrain from taking buy trades in the market and only look for opportunities to enter sell positions. Now, let's analyze this on the 15-minute time frame. Looking at GBPUSD, we can see that the price has made a strong aggressive move upward, which ultimately, after collecting liquidity on the buy side above the session highs, specifically the London session highs, using the CVD divergence indicator, a negative divergence has been identified. This indicates the start of a bearish trend in the market, and we can use this opportunity to enter a sell position toward the order block area. By analyzing the 15-minute time frame of the chart, we can see a short-term bullish correction in the DXY. It's possible that during the London session, it could move upward toward the key resistance zone. In the afternoon, it may move during the New York session, and after that, in the New York session, it could head downward again. There could be increased selling pressure, which would ultimately weaken the GBP relative to the DXY. After the DXY starts its downward trend, the GBP could also move upward. Wishing you success and profits.